The subject for this evening is creating multiple passive income streams in 2013. And here, at long last, and with great appreciation for all your struggles, is Andrew Hansen. And I'm going to push the button, and hopefully we get the next slide. There we go.
All right. So are we on the title slide now?
Yes.
The main first one?
We're on 90 seconds. Who the heck am I?
All right. Hey, guys, firstly, before I get into this, let me just quickly say how much I appreciate your time having waited for this evening. That was some of the craziest stuff that I've ever seen with GoToWebinar, and I still do not know why that happened. But if you hung in there, I promise you I'm going to do everything I can in the next 60 minutes to give you as much value as I possibly can in the time that we have together. I've got some pretty cool stuff on these slides. I'm just going to get stuck straight into it now. The subject, obviously, of our presentation tonight is creating multiple income streams of little sites between $300 and $3,000 a month. The first thing I want to talk to you about is just 90 seconds of who am I. I don't really like talking about myself and my own accomplishments, but I do this because if you are in this game and trying to honestly learn affiliate marketing, you deserve the courtesy of knowing who it is that you listen to. One of the hardest things in this game is to determine who's for real and who's not, and work out who you can trust and who is worth listening to. So I'm just going to try to demonstrate to you really quickly in 90 seconds why I'm worth listening to and why I'm worth having waited an hour for. I didn't plan on that. I'm very sorry. Really quickly, I've been running this business model that we're going to talk about today in one form or another for 7 years now. I'm still a young guy. I'm 26 years old. This is everything to me. This is my career. This is my life. This is all I've ever done is be good at what we're talking about today. So I started like many people, just a normal dude. I was a poor student when I got started. I was living with my parents just in a room in their house. The first year that I spent online marketing was pretty crazy and not in a good way. I bought a ton of expensive courses. I got scammed by a lot of gurus. After the first year, I lost more money than I made, and by quite a bit. I was in debt pretty badly. I owed my mum money, which was extremely embarrassing. I owed friends of mine money. It was pretty ugly. That was my first year in online marketing, so it certainly wasn't a quick start by any means. Not too long after that, fortunately, somehow I was stupid enough to persist in spite of all of that. Things kind of clicked shortly after that, and I came to some of the understandings that formed the core of the business model that I'm going to talk to you about today. Things clicked. The next 5 years, I built my business to 7 figures a year based on what we're going to discuss today. Not only that, but now I've been teaching this stuff for quite a while as well, and over the course of that time, I've coached many students to 5-figure-a-month affiliate incomes of their own using this business model, and more broadly, I've helped thousands of people to make their first dollar online using the exact same principles that we're going to discuss today. I'm not sure how close that was to 90 seconds, but I think that'll do. So let me tell you now about this business model that we're going to be discussing on this call today. You heard a little bit about what this business is this is about running a minimum work for maximum income lifestyle. I've been asking people this question lately, and maybe I can ask you guys, and Rick, perhaps you can tell me the answers that come through from on the question panel there, but I want to hear from you if you're listening. If you have a choice between A and B, there's 2 options. The question is, would you rather a business that made you, or a job that made you $1 million a year where you had to work 10 hours a day, or a job that made you $100,000 a year where you worked 10 hours a week? Shoot your answers through on the question panel, because it's going to become particularly relevant to what we discuss in the rest of this conversation, and I'm interested to know what kind of people we've got online here.
Well, we're getting a cross section, but it seems to be somebody says I already did the first, but option B seems to be the one that the majority of folks are answering, and people are saying 10 hours a week, 10 hours a week, make $100,000 on 10 hours a week. So I guess option B is where they want to be.
Cool. Well, I'm really glad. Secretly, I was hoping that that's what you would say, because that's my preferred option too. There's not a right or wrong on that. We all choose the kind of lifestyle that we wish. My thing has always been about a kind of B lifestyle, and that's what we're going to be talking about for the rest of this presentation. Running a business that is minimum work for maximum income. We're going to do that by creating small, simple web properties that each provide a revenue stream. So it's kind of like investing in property offline, where you have a series of properties and they each provide an income above what it costs to pay the mortgage or whatever it is. They're just online properties that come with far less costs, that you can set up much more easily, and that can in fact be quite a lot more profitable. The way that we want to accomplish this, if possible, is with minimal effort of yours. Once the work required gets too high, then we start straying too far from that 10 hours a week goal that we're looking for. So what this business is about is achieving. This is a system that is completely outsourceable in time. We don't want to do anything that only we can do with this business model. Everything has to be able to be easily passed off to someone else. And finally, we want to do this by making these web properties that provide real value and that really last. So it's not about setting up some fly-by-night kind of business that's going to be making money really quickly and then will have disappeared in the next month or so. It's about setting up something that really does have value, that can stand the test of time. And it's about, most importantly, I think, using a systematized process to replicate those revenue streams, to churn out many of them and do so consistently to scale up your profits. So the goal is, if you say that you want to be able to make, say, 50 grand a month, 50 grand a year or 100 grand a year, you bring that down to the monthly level. Let's say it's 7 grand a month, and you work backwards from there and decide, okay, that's probably going to take me 4 to 5 of these little sites. So if I can do the same thing, the same set of steps over and over again 4 or 5 times, I'll be able to reach my goal level of income. That's what this system is about. That's how you create minimum work for maximum income. So I want to show you a real-life example here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about with these web properties and get a bit better understanding of where we're going with this. So this example here is one site. It's a very small site. It has 6 pages in total. Very, very tiny indeed. It's a very simple, plain-looking site. We'll talk more about the layout later. But this particular site profits $1,195 a month. I grabbed a recent ClickBank shot from it here just to show you the numbers so you can see the proof in that way. And this is a screenshot from the traffic. This particular site actually gets much more traffic than most of my minis. So this particular one gets 262 visitors a day. And as you can see, it just took an increase recently, and that increase in traffic is from some new sources that I haven't yet monetized perfectly well. So this site makes its $11.95 from a small amount of that traffic, and the full potential for this site is somewhere closer to the $3,000 a month mark. But this is a very plain site, a very simple site that just monetizes with affiliate links and uses all free traffic. So that's the kind of site that we're going to be looking to set up. This is the kind of web property that you build up a few of these, and this can support, for the most part, any kind of lifestyle that you can want to lead without you having to for the whole thing. The way that I set up these sites is it's a 3-step system. It's very, very simple stuff. The first step to making sites like this is what I call weird little markets. We're going to talk about what that means in a second. The second step is drop-dead easy sites. So weird little markets, and in those markets I build really simple little sites. But simple sites that, like we're going to see, cater really tightly, really specifically to the group of people that they are designed for. three, the third part of the process is to get free high conversion traffic to that site. So that's search engine traffic for me in this model. I've found that to be consistently the most profitable per visitor for an affiliate running this business. And we're going to talk a lot about what that means coming up. And there's a fourth step, which is not really a step at all. It's just to rinse and repeat steps 1 to 3. It's diversify and replicate. So once you've done this once, you find a new market, you diversify into that market, you do exactly the same things again, and you accomplish the same results. So we're going to move now and talk about each of these steps in more detail. So the first step, weird little markets. A lot of people's advice when it comes to setting up small niche businesses on the internet is to go to a big market, and because a big market is where the money is being made. My strategy is a little bit different. Because as an individual, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, and two, I don't have the resources to compete against people who have big money and big teams behind them. I try to find weird little markets. So small pockets of people all over the internet that spend serious money on everyday weird little passions. Targeting these groups of people, these small groups of people, means that we don't have to compete with big companies with big teams and big resources. It might not be profitable or worthwhile for some big company to go into a market where there's only, say, $5,000 a month to be made. It might not be worth it for them. But for someone like me, $5,000 a month is a worthy sum. That would do a lot to my life. That would make a big impact. So I can spend the time, or have other people spend the time at least, to establish myself in that market, in a place where I can make money without anywhere near the same scale of competition. And that's what I'm always looking for, these small pockets of people that have a real deep interest and passion in one very specific thing, which is usually a thing that I can help sell them on. They're passionate about a thing or a group of things that they don't yet have. Those markets mean easy conversions and big money from small traffic. Those things they kind of mean the same, but that's very, very important to understand. When you operate in one of these small markets, you don't need a huge amount of traffic to be able to make great money. We're going to talk about it as well, the way that you can make affiliate sales with as little as 5 and 10 visitors to your site, maybe per day, for example. The thing about these markets is that they're not found in common places. Go to ClickBank or just go to Amazon or Commission Junction or Share Sale and click a button and scroll through the list and find them. These offers are not found in the most common places. And that is one of the reasons that these markets have little or lower competition, is because other affiliates can't get their hands on them as easily. It's one of the reasons that I really like the OfferVault as a tool, and I've used it for so long now and continually recommend it to other people, is because it brings you affiliate offers from many different places outside of those, ones from different networks, little networks, sometimes obscure networks that you might not know about otherwise. But it can help you find affiliate offers that are in this category, ones that not many other people will have the chance to find, and that might represent one of these little passions that can make you a lot of money. But what's crazy about these markets is that they are so very profitable, but you need techniques for finding them most of the time. You can't just go to one of these sites like ClickBank or Amazon or Share Sale and just expect to uncover them. There are techniques you can use to find them, to come across them. Developing these techniques has been, because I realize that for every one that you can find, there's a whole income stream for potentially years to come. So it's extremely lucrative. So I've worked on developing techniques for finding these offers. I had planned before the technical difficulties tonight to show a live example here, and I don't see why it wouldn't be possible right now. Rick, can we go to a web browser right now?
I think I have one of those on my computer. Hang on a sec. Do you have a preference? Will Firefox do?
Yeah, for sure. And I just realized I had totally not the whole way through the presentation been giving you cues for the slides.
Well, I think we're up to date. I'm assuming you can't see anything. We're at Example Technique in Weird Market Case Study is our title.
That's exactly right.
Okay, I'm going to turn on Firefox. Wait one.
Sure.
Okay, I'm on Google. Where should I go from here? Now, keep in mind that unfortunately I am a colonial as well. I'm in Canada, so I might see something different from where you expect to see it. What should I look for? Okay, I've got Google up. I'm in Canada, so if that has any impact on things, I apologize, but I can't move tonight.
No, that's fine. I just need Google, and if you could also bring up another tab with the Google AdWords keyword tool in it. You can just Google that to grab the URL, I think.
And wait one. There we are. AdWords keyword tool. I should know this by heart. You'd think after thousands of hours of this stuff, I'd know what I was doing, but I don't. There we go. All right. We have Google on one side, Google AdWords keyword tool on another side, and actually I think I'll sign in. So wait one. I think I can sign into this. Or can I? No, I can't on this computer. Not without looking on another computer. So, no. Anyway, we can do it blind and use the thing. Go ahead, Maestro. Conduct away.
Yeah, not a problem. So if you could try to just follow along, I guess, with what I'm saying, and we should be able to make this work. So, obviously, the AdWords keyword tool is normally used for keyword research. In this particular technique, this is one of the kind of techniques that I've developed for doing this. You can also use this for market research, like to find new niches and new products, new stuff that you can sell that you didn't previously know about. So one thing that you can do, again, if you're following along and listening, you can do this. You can do this right now on your own browser, or you can note it down to do later when we're finished. You can come to the AdWords keyword tool and you can enter the name of a group of products, like some category of products, not a specific product itself, but just some group of products. So, I don't know, look around your living room. Like for me, I know there's a TV, I've got a guitar, just had a smoothie before, so I've got a blender. A blender might work actually. So I enter blender in here, just blender and nothing else. A category of products. Obviously, there's many different kinds of blenders. That's the kind of thing you want to enter. Below that search bar, tick the box which says only show ideas closely related to my search terms. And over on the left, underneath match types, where it says broad and exact, untick broad and tick exact. And type in the captcha when that's done and hit search there.
You won't believe this, but I actually read the captcha right the first time, and we've got significant results. In fact, we've got Blender and 450,000 global monthly searches. A lot of people looking for blenders. Maybe they want to make margaritas. Magic Bullet Blender, Ninja 1100 Blender, Personal Blender, Osterizer, KitchenAid. We got a whole boatload.
Okay, so if you want to over on the right there, just click the word so that it sorts that list by the most searches.
Global monthly or local monthly?
Global monthly.
Yeah, it's And you want it from top to bottom or bottom to top?
From high to low
Okay.
volume.
There we are.
So I can see Blender, and then the second one down is Ninja Blender, right?
Yes. Oh, goodness. We're on the same page from different parts of the planet.
Amazing. Okay, so let me tell you guys why this is interesting. So we're not necessarily going to start a site just on blenders. It doesn't mean that Blender is a great niche market, but this technique does something interesting. So I searched Blender, and what I've learned from this is that by looking at this list, there would seem to be a number of specific blenders that are particularly in demand. So Ninja Blender might be one, but the first one going down this list that clearly seems to be like its name of a blender is the one called Vitamix Blender. It says Vitamix Blender has 12,000 searches a month. Now, before I ran this search, I didn't know that Vitamix Blender was a thing. So Google told me that information, which is fantastic. That might be a niche market that I can enter, helping sell Vitamix blenders. I don't know yet, but it might be. So I can come back up to the search bar, and now I can just search the brand name. Now that I know that's a brand of blenders, there might be other keywords that are more popular. So I can go back up, do exactly the same search, but just search Vitamix, just that word and nothing else.
And we have Vitamix.
Let me know when the results are up.
Yes, we've got, now just so I go down here to sort. I think we're sorting in descending. So Vitamix itself gives us 135,000. Vitamix recipes comes in at 18,000. Vitamix blenders down to 12,000. And we go on to all the way down to Vitamix CIA. I don't know if I want to know what that one is. Vitamix accessories. We got a whole bunch.
Great. That's really all we need. So it turns out, as we suspected, that Vitamix is a brand of its own, and it's even a product of its own, it would seem, since there's 135,000 people every month looking for a Vitamix. We know it's a blender, and we know that it's a product that people can buy. So suddenly, this becomes very interesting. Now I've got 135,000 people just on that main keyword. Across the whole list, there's probably closer to 180,000, something like that. People every month who are looking for Vitamix. Now the thing is, with keyword research, if you've done any of this, you know that when people are searching a product like this, there's only a small number of reasons why they could be searching for this product. And the primary reason for a keyword that's just Vitamix, so not necessarily recipes, for example, you search a product in Google before you buy it. Doesn't mean 135,000 of those people are all buying it, but a very high percentage of them will go on to buy that Vitamix. So and that's a market. That's 135,000 people. That's a big number of people. Now, if hypothetically we could sell the Vitamix as an affiliate, and we could provide some information to these people who are looking to buy it that would be valuable to them, would there be an opportunity there to make some money? Well, obviously there would. Note that this is very different to searching for niches normally. This is not going through ClickBank and coming across dog training and seeing that there's 135,000 searches for dog training, where we don't know what those people want at all. They search dog training. Maybe they want a dog training school nearby. Maybe they want a dog training collar. Maybe they just want to learn about dog training. They don't want to buy anything. There's so many possibilities. When someone searches Vitamix, there's a very small number of possibilities. And the primary one is a possibility that will make money. So the last thing that we need to do is just confirm whether there is an affiliate program, whether we actually could sell this thing. So to do this, super easy. We just click over to Google, to the other screen. It's just the search engine. And we type in Vitamix, and then in quotations, affiliate program. Let me know when those results are up on the screen.
Just checking my spelling. It's always bad. And I think I've got, yes, learn more or log into the Vitamix affiliate program. Apply for Vitamix affiliate. We got a bunch.
Okay, great. So we very quickly learned that there is an affiliate program for Vitamix, so that's ticked. We can sign up somewhere and sell that thing. I can tell you only because I looked at this once before that the affiliate program is actually pretty cool. There's a 15% commission, and it's quite an expensive blender. It costs about $700 or something like that in the US to grab one. So the possibility for commission there is like $70 to $90, I think. It's really quite significant. So now we've got something where we've got 135,000 people that want to buy something that we can sell them, or we can help inform their buying decision, where we can earn $70 to $90 commission for every single sale. So this is a different kind of opportunity. This is the sort of market that I'm talking about. And there's a little bit more analysis that I'll usually do there, how good a market really is and how easily I can enter it and things like that, but that's always how it starts, and that's the most important part. So if I can flick back to the slides there now, I want to tell you a little bit more about this market and what exactly that means. So let me know when that same slide is up again, which is just example technique and weird market case study with nothing else on it yet.
And we're there.
Okay, so if I can get the first point up.
And you're going to tell us, what does that mean?
Okay, and actually the second one as well would be good. So what does this mean? I want to convert this and break it down so that this actually means something monetarily to you now, so you understand this better. So 135,000 searches a month. In the search engines, if you rank #1 statistically, there's been many studies that all confirmed around about this same number, the best you can do is 30% of the traffic. That's if you rank #1. We can probably assume that the company is going to rank #1, and a lot of times we can beat the company in the search engines by having smarter SEO, but let's in this case say that we can't. Let's say that we can only get to, say, position 3. Statistically, position 2 and 3, depending on the titles and other factors, will get around about 10% of the search engine traffic. So let's say we can get 10% of just that one keyword, that main keyword. Keeping in mind there was another 100 keywords for that, many more searches. Let's say we can get 10%. When you monetize, or when you like this, on average, and this is my own sites of other people that do this that I'm in contact with, the click-through rate that you usually get, number of people that you got to your site that will actually click on your affiliate links, is around 30%. Can be much higher, can be a little bit lower as well. 30% is a fairly conservative estimate of how many people you can get clicking through if you do the right things with your content. We're going to talk about that later. Then, from the people that click through, conservatively, again, on a product name keyword, your conversion could be around 4%. I've got sites where it's higher, it goes up to 9%, but that's a kind of average, really a low average. So 135,000 people, 10% we can get to our site, 30% of those we can get to click through, and 4% of those we can actually convert. Remember, it's not hard to convert these people because they already wanted to buy the Vitamix. We just helped push them over the line. Given a commission of $70 to $90, like we said, I think I base this on a $74 commission, which is a little bit lower even. That niche is a $17,000 a month niche. That's estimating conservatively. That's one keyword, position 3, a low to moderate click-through rate and a low to moderate conversion. That's approximately, maybe at the low end, that market would be worth $17,000 a month. Now, this is not a bizarre example that I purposely went through and showed because it was just so fantastically profitable. This is just one of the first ones that I came across when I was practicing this technique and making a video for it. These markets, you really have to understand, are everywhere. there is more of them than you could capitalize on. There is more of them than all of us on this call could capitalize on. And even if we found them all today, we would wake up tomorrow morning and there would be a whole new set, because there are new companies bringing out new products and marketing them, building up little groups of people who really want them every single day. If that's not exciting to you, then I don't know what I can say. But to me, that is really, really exciting, because that is completely real, that opportunity to make that amount of money from a product like that, and many more like it. So let's go on to the next slide now, and we'll talk about step 2 here. Tell me when we've got step 2 there ready.
We're ready to roll.
Once you've found a market like that, how do you enter it? How do you capitalize on that? This part is pretty much drop dead easy. That's why I named it like that. The sites that I make for this are clean, simple looking WordPress blogs. Mini sites, in other words. They are on my own domain name, and they are dedicated to that little market. So I would have one site that was dedicated to helping the people who want to buy a Vitamix to help make their buying decision, or help the people who are on the fence to feel confident whether they choose to buy it or not. Typically, it will just be like that, with one site per product or per market. But there is the possibility of smaller sites that perhaps review a number of products, let's say 5 products on that site, and help sell them all. The content that goes on those sites is content that's valuable to people in those little markets. So there is a lot of stuff that if you're searching for a Vitamix in Google that you need to know. And not all of it is stuff that Google is going to, not all of it is stuff that the company is going to tell you necessarily. For example, it might be how-to content, like how to get the most out of your Vitamix once you've bought it. It might be review content, like what is this product like according to the people who have actually used it? Do they really like their Vitamix? What do they find annoying about it, and other things? It could be buying advice, like where to get the best price, how to get cheaper shipping, whether there's a coupon available at the moment, many other things like that. It could be comparisons to other products. Is this Vitamix better than the Ninja blender or some other thing? Could be other insider information that generally the company on their website doesn't tell you. What this means is that there is a lot of scope for people like us to provide information about products that the company themselves won't provide. And by doing so, we can provide more value than the company themselves will provide. That means we have reasons for people to visit our site, even instead of visiting the actual merchant. You might have had this situation happen with yourself in life, where you whatever, and you went to Google to search it, and you saw the product website come up, but you purposely didn't click on that. Maybe it's just me that does this, but sometimes I'll look away from the company's website, because I know that if you're the company, you want to say certain things about your product, but you might not say everything, and other information I need, I might have to get from elsewhere. That's the kind of service that you want to provide. That's how you create value with one of these sites, and you can create a lot of value, and that gets noticed by your readers and by Google. So what we would do with this example is we would begin by dipping our toe into a market with a simple web property, just this quick WordPress blog that might start with as small as 5 articles, for example. And you expand that based on what you see in that market. So you start to get a little bit of traffic. You see how it converts, see whether it's really going to be profitable for you to promote that Vitamix, see if it's competitive or not. And then assuming it's not and everything goes according to plan, you expand into that market. You create more content for those people. You might even create multiple sites in that market, and you grow your profits and scale them from there. With the Vitamix example, there may have been a way that we that one keyword, for example, might have been worth $17,000 a month. Another one of those sideline keywords we might have been able to easily expand into and add, say, another $5,000 a month easily to our bottom line on that. That's very, very powerful. If we're not already, are we up to the last point on this slide?
We are.
So in profitable markets like that Vitamix one, you would do that as well. You create multiple properties, perhaps even to target subsections of that market. And by doing this, creating properties in multiple sites, you help diversify your risk, diversify your income sources, and spread yourself more broadly to be able to make more money in more different places. And by doing that, that's how you scale your income up. That's how you repeat these income streams and keep growing. And there's no limit there to the amount you can grow. So to go to the next slide now, I want to give some tips now for if you're making this site, following along this blueprint, and you want some things to take away. I want to tell you a bit more about how to make these really high-quality sites that Google really loves. That means they will be able to get ranked in the search engines, and that your readers will really love. So this is a combination of stuff, actually kind of new stuff that's at least more important or newly important in the search engines than it was. So I'll go first point there if I can. The first thing that makes a fantastic mini site at the moment is for it to be fast loading. This is something that the search engines have come to put more emphasis on in the last 6 months, and something you really need to pay attention to. There's a URL here where you can grab, you can do a test of your site's speed. You should be able to see it there. It's tools.pingdom.com/FPT. You can go there and enter your site URL, if for existing sites that you have or for new ones that you might build with this method, and you can find how quick your site loads and how quickly it loads relative to others that get tested. And you should get a great idea from that,
Andrew?
of whether you... Sure.
Yeah, we're missing that URL, so if you would be so kind as to tell it to me again, I'll type it in and put it back up.
Okay, is it not on the slide there?
No, it fell off. So we have check speed at, what was that again? I missed it when you spoke it.
Okay, it's tools, TOOLS, dot pingdom, PINGDOM.com /FPT.
And we should have that now showing to the crowd. tools.pingdom.com/FPT and apply plugin WordPress Super Cache for max speed. Does that work on my car too?
I wish. So just note that URL down, and you can go and play with it later at your own leisure. You can test your sites there, find out how fast they are compared to other sites, and you'll quickly see if your site needs adjusting in the speed department. If your site's speed, it can often, I've seen this have dramatic effects on search engine rankings. Like I had one particular site which was doing great and doing everything right in the search engines, but I noticed after checking this that the speed was a little bit low. The speed on that was, I think it was 7 seconds or something, which is really crazy. It shouldn't take that long to load up. Then I fixed the speed by using this plugin, which is really cool for WordPress. It's called WP Super Cache. There are a number of caching plugins like this for WordPress, but this one's really simple. It just requires that it be enabled, and then it starts to work. And the site speed after that went down to more like 1.5 and 2 seconds, and I saw an increase in rankings after that within about 7 days on this site, where I went for one of my profitable keywords from position 8 up to position 2, I think it was. Very, very quickly, very powerful stuff. So Google is really paying attention to this now, and you should be as well. The second thing, you want to make sure that no weird URLs on your site are being indexed in Google. So what that means is to go to google.com and do a search, which is site, S-I-T-E, :yoursite.com. Type the URL of your site in and just press search. And Google will bring up, if you've never done this before, all the pages of yours that it has indexed, that it has crawled and registered in the search engines. And usually, if you've not worked on this before, you'll find a bunch of stuff indexed which falls under that category of weird URLs, stuff that Google or any reader or visitor to your site never needs to access, but it's there. So, for example, often Google will index your WP admin page, like your login page, which is bad for security as well. They can index stuff in your content folder, like plugins you have and themes and stuff like that. They can index other weird PHP files that they just don't need to index at all. And what can happen is if you have a small site that's only, say, 5 pages, and those 5 pages of content are indexed, but you've got 10 pages of weird PHP files and URLs and admin pages, that stuff, it looks like the majority of your site, and your content is the minority. And that's crazy, and Google's always going to think you're strange if that's what they see of your site. So you can download another SEO plugin that has a quite good feature for blocking this. It's called Yoast SEO plugin. That's Y-O-A-S-T. You can Google that in your time and download that plugin. It just has a setting that you can check to automatically not index any of that content. So that will protect those pages from being indexed by Google and prevent them from looking on you with that plugin if you can. Finally, with the content that we write, quite important point. One thing I've really changed from doing now is to create topic-based content, not keyword-based content. Google, smartly, I would say, made a change in the last 12 months where they started putting more and more harsh penalties on people who would over-optimize in the search engines, who just looked like they were too aggressively trying to target their chosen keywords. So this would be the difference between, with the example we came up with, using finding 3 keywords on Vitamix, like Vitamix, Vitamix Review, and Vitamix Blender. And in the old SEO style, we would create an article for each of those, because each of them, and we have to target each of those groups of people individually. But really, the people searching each of those keywords, Vitamix Blender, Vitamix, and Vitamix Review, they're all looking for the same thing. That's one topic. That only needs one article, and that can, or one piece of content, and that can rank for all of those 3 keywords if you're smart, if you know what you're doing with that. So topic-based content and not keyword-based anymore. That is the most natural, most high quality, and not only that, but it will also generate the highest conversion for your readers, because there's no weird keywords stuffed into any places that they don't need to be in. You're really creating a piece of content thinking in your mind what would be most valuable to this group of people. And surprisingly, I say that sarcastically, it's really not surprisingly, that has an effect on your conversions. That helps convert people and really make sales. So I want to show you another case study now of another site like this. This site employs the strategies that we've just been talking about for a simple site. It is slightly bigger than the first one I showed you. This site has 10 pages, 10 pieces of content. I don't write the content for these myself because that's easy to outsource with the people that we have anyway. They're quite well trained now. They know how to do this stuff well. This site gets 45 visitors per day. It's actually quite a small, like a really small amount of traffic. 45 is even a high day, I think. It's a little bit lower. I'll show you the Google Analytics in a $1,024 a month. That was the last month anyway that I recorded. That was January, I believe. So this is the Google Analytics for this site. You'll see the average is 45 visits a day, 1,300 people in a month. It has also increased a little bit recently, and there is a little bit of unmonetized traffic there as well. And this is the screenshot from that affiliate program. It's a bit of a weird one that didn't easily allow me to show this, but you'll see that from the last 7 days here on this particular link, I generated 78 clicks, and that resulted in 8 conversions. And you can't see it on there, but this offer is for a free trial of a product for women that pays out $94.50 on a sale. So 8 sales in 7 days, it generates $94.50 sale. It's 8 times 94.50. It's 756 a week, and it's 3,024 a month. So again, $3,000 a month is not a huge amount of money depending on your standards, but the fact that you can do this so easily and without having to work on it, this site, this is like, I really haven't worked on this one for a while. The last time I worked on this site was probably, it'll be coming up to, I don't know, coming up to 6 months ago now. Like, other people do things on that site. Some of the work is outsourced, but this takes none of my time to generate that money, and that's what's really cool about this. Remember, minimum work, maximum income. So if I can get the next slide, I want to talk to you about the third step in this process now. We've found a market, we've created a site, it's time to bring some traffic, right? The third step is free, high conversion traffic. Next point, that means, to me, good old search engine traffic. The reality is, for affiliates, there's nothing like search engine traffic in terms of conversions anyway. In terms of the ability for minimum work and maximum income, in terms of the ability to get traffic where you can convert one sale every 10 visitors, for example, there's really nothing like search engine traffic. There are many other forms of traffic available, but search, for me, it always wins. So to talk about what we have to talk about next, you need to forget some of the things you might have heard about search engine marketing so far and kind of keep an open mind on this, because you might hear me say some things that next point. The reality is that right now, not anything can rank in the search engines. If I went out right now and started a site and followed the methods that I used 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I would do horribly in the search engines. I would not be able to rank. I would be penalized very quickly, and I would not be able to make any money. The things that I do right now to rank are no more difficult in any way. I'm going to look at some examples shortly about they're in fact easier in a lot of respects. There is not anything more difficult that needs to be done. There's just different things need to be done right now. If you know the right things to do in the search engines at the moment, anyone can get one of these little sites to rank and make money in a short period of time. The thing is, when you operate in super low competition markets like the ones I taught you how to find, and when you write high quality targeted content on high quality sites, anyone with the right strategy doing these right things can get a lot of free buying traffic from the search engines. And like I said, in some cases, I would even say most cases, easier than before. There's certain changes Google made in the last 12 months that penalized people who were doing things wrong that were already existing in the search engines, but that made it easier for people who were starting from scratch. That's one of the things they haven't done very often in their history, but this time they did it, and it's fantastic, and there's an opportunity open now that we all need to take advantage of if we wish. To get the next slide there, I want to get specific now and talk to you about search engine strategies. So if you're following along, you've got a technique to find one of these great markets. You know how to set up one of these sites, these simple WordPress blogs. You know what kind of content to put on these sites. You put your affiliate links in the bottom. Now it's time to get someone to see that, to get visitors. How do we do that in Google right now in 2013? Number one, before we talk about any of this, you have to understand that most of what makes money in Google, we've done already. So where we are right now, having picked the market that we picked and having created the kind of site that we created and having the quality there that we now have, we're already past 50% of the way there on this. That stuff and the on-page factors that we've implemented already are half the battle, probably even more. What comes next is the easy part, relatively speaking. So step one, when you're setting up a new affiliate site, use links and a mix of affiliate and non-affiliate content. So what that means is you want to avoid looking like a search engine spammer. And one of the things search engine spammers do is make WordPress blogs and fill them with affiliate content and promote them aggressively from day one. You have to avoid Google mistakenly thinking that you are one of those guys. One of the ways you do that is by having the cloaked affiliate links. So there's plugins you can use for that. There's many different ones. So that the affiliate link first goes to a page on your site before linking out to the affiliate link. And the second thing is that you mix of affiliate content and non-affiliate content. So with the Vitamix example, we would create 5 pieces of content perhaps to start a site off. 2 of them would be pieces of content on Vitamix, maybe different models of Vitamix, and the other 3 would just be helpful articles for people once they've bought their Vitamix, for example, not containing an affiliate link. That's important. 2 pieces of content with an affiliate link, 3 pieces of content without. With that little setup, we don't look like a search engine spammer. We don't look like someone who's come in to aggressively manipulate the search engines. We look like a high-quality content provider, because that's what we are. And doing that, you can fly under Google's radar very easily. Secondly, when it comes to building your backlinks, promoting your site in the search engines, for the first time in search engine history, Google has become able to reward people for doing the thing that they always said that they wanted us to do, which was to don't try too hard with your SEO, be natural with your search engine marketing and other things like that. Now, being natural, taking things slowly with your link building, taking things gently, not being aggressive, that really does get results. It's taken Google a long time, so they shouldn't get any rewards for that. They shouldn't get any praise for that, certainly not from me, but that is happening now in the search engines. What I do when I'm starting out on a new site like this is I begin with a very white hat link building strategy early on. So I keep my links really high quality, very low in volume, like 1 or 2 a day even, depending on the size of the market. If it's a more competitive market, perhaps a few more. And then later, after a few weeks, once I've beaten that radar period and I'm out of Google's suspicion, then I'll change to a mildly more assertive link building strategy, where I'll start to build some links that are higher in quality, usually higher in page rank, that are from bigger sites, more authoritative, and so on. And I'll pepper those links in later, after that early period. And this formula has worked over and over again, not just for me, but for other affiliates just like me in many different markets, everything from fitness to credit cards even. And it is profoundly powerful. It's working over and over again. So the cool thing about this is that ranking in the search engines now requires fewer backlinks than it has for a very long time. More and more guys will talk situation exactly like this, where they spend the early period on a site building links, just high quality links, very white hat, and then they will start to add a very, very small number of higher value links, higher quality, higher PR links, for example, usually in content links, contextual links rather, and with say 5 to 10 of those backlinks, very small number, Google will have everything that they need to rank that site in the search engines for the keywords that they're targeting, without them having to overly optimize on their site, without them having to be aggressive or do anything quote-unquote black hat in the search engines whatsoever. And that is exciting, because that's an opportunity that hasn't existed, at least not in this way, ever before. This is one of those things that I could really talk for a long time about, and I'm really passionate about this stuff, so I could really ramble, but we will have to leave link building there and promoting in the search engines for now. What I would like you to know, going on to the next slide now, is talking about the amount of work required. You should know 2 things from the case studies that I've shown you. The first site, the $11.95 a month site, that site had only 75 total backlinks. That's it. The second site, the $3,000 a month site, has 100 backlinks. These 2 both are a bit high on the scale for how much work is normally required. Remember, this is not something that you do yourself. I didn't personally build one of these backlinks. The cool thing about SEO now, or rather another cool thing, is that the industry has advanced to a point where it's easier than ever before to outsource those high-value SEO tasks. As long as you know the right people and the right tasks to get done, it's easy to hand that stuff off now, more easy than it has been in the past, and more cheap as well. There are more options available, it's more competitive. So the amount of work that, for me, the amount of work is zero, but even the total amount of work is not very high. Anyone listening to this call could have done exactly the amount of work that even the people who did the work for me did on these sites and make money with them. I sarcastically ask usually at this point, geez, is that a level of work that you think you could manage? Because now we've seen pretty much the whole process. We've seen the kind of technique you would use to find a market. We've seen what you do with the market once you have it. Really simple site, fill it with maybe 5 articles, 2 of which might contain an affiliate link. The creation of the site can be completely outsourced easily. The content would be outsourced easily, no work for you in that. Now you would have to build, say, 75 backlinks that you would just be paying someone else a small fee to build. There's not a person listening that couldn't do the amount of work that it would take to set up one of these sites for $1,000 a month or $3,000 a month in passive income for them to be earning. The fourth step in the process, the one that wasn't really a step, was diversify and replicate. You choose your desired level of income, whatever it is, the level of income that will support your lifestyle, where you want it to be. You systematize what you've done to create one site, and you slowly outsource everything. The first one you do yourself because you have to understand the process. After that, you hand off one of those tasks at a time until the whole system operates without you. You expand on your successes. So you find a product that converts and that sells well, like Vitamix, and you assume that if there's profit here, there's probably also profit there. So you look at sideline markets, other opportunities in that same or related industries. Just by doing that, you can accelerate your profits in a huge way and quickly build up to the income level that you chose. Finally, and to me this is really the most important part, after that's done, you get off the computer and you go do what's really important to you in life. You said that you wanted a business for $100,000 a year income and 10 hours work a week. Well, you're going to have to fill in the other time that you have there somehow. And it sounds like a crazy problem to have, but for some people, you get weirdly addicted to setting up these sites and making more money, and you start to just make them for the sake of making more money. You have to make sure you don't do that. You have to make sure that you use the additional time that you have in the ways that are most meaningful, whether that's travel, whether that's spending time with your family, whether that's pursuing your hobbies or passions. That's what's really most important in this. Income potential with this stuff really is, if it's not already clear to you, quite mind-blowing. Like I said, the example that we found for a niche at the start, where we saw the potential for $17,000 a month, that is not a rare opportunity. That one is not so standout that another one exactly like it and more profitable couldn't be found in an instant. And remember, those markets, that you couldn't even dig to the end of them if you tried. And remembering that we would wake up tomorrow morning, a whole new set of those markets would be created by new companies bringing out new products with new groups of people that want them. You could have a site up and running in the next hour. You could either make it yourself or pay someone to do it. You could have optimized that site and filled it with content that someone else wrote for you in another 24 hours after that. You could begin the promotion of the site in the search engines, do the traffic generation, do that stuff, have that initiated within 48 hours, and profiting in 10 days. I put in brackets really because that's one of those things that sounds like it's like a hypey statement, something that I intentionally exaggerated. But I want to show you why I put that in and why that's not really an exaggeration at all. If I can get the next slide there. This is another case study, the last one that I want to show you. This is a guy called Joe. He's from London, where I live. Joe is in his late 60s. I met him because he paid me some money to coach him on these methods, this affiliate marketing model that I use. And I spent some time with him guiding him through this stuff. He's in his late 60s. He's a retired dentist, and he wanted to make some money in his retirement to help support him, and to really for his interest. He was a little bit bored, not working anymore, and so he wanted a new challenge, a new opportunity. His internet skills were kind of reasonable, nothing special at all. He'd been doing marketing online for a few months, and that's it. I spoke to Joe online for 4 hours in total, 1 hour a week for 4 weeks in total, coaching him through exactly the kind of stuff we've been talking about. So I found a weird niche market for him. We got his little site running really easily. We got his content published. He didn't write it, and we began promoting that stuff in the search engines like we discussed. I kid you not, Joe, the most beginner guy with minimal skills, we saw his first affiliate sale with this stuff in 10 days from him beginning. 10 days from literal start to finish. When I say that it's possible to profit with this stuff within 10 days, it's not something that I exaggerate. I believe that it's possible because I've seen it happen time and time again. I'm not going to bore you with all the examples, but he actually wasn't the only one. There was a small group of people that paid me to coach with this method. There was 6 of them, I believe, and all of them, every one of them, made money. Not always in 10 days. Another lady was 21 days. Another guy was after his second week, I think, about day 14, if I recall correctly. But all with around about that same result. I've really seen this replicated many, many times now. Next slide, if I can. To quickly recap, there are 3 steps to profit with this, and that's it. There is nothing more complicated than that. Number 1 is you find a weird little market using one of those techniques that is outside of the scope of normal affiliates. Number 2, you knock up a drop-dead simple mini site. It's a simple WordPress blog. You fill it with content that's valuable to the people who are searching for that product. Number 3 is you use simple 2013 effect free high conversion traffic to that site. When you're done, you go back to the beginning and you start again. You replicate that kind of site, replicate that process in a new niche, in a new market. You scale up and you grow your profits. That's really all there is to it. The system that I'm talking about here is the system that I have refined. Over 7 years I've been in this business now. This is the 2013 version. This is what I'm doing right now. This is the best of the best in a sense. This one that I've been talking to you about today is my affiliate marketing system for fast and lasting income. That is with the ability to make money quickly, like Joe, in as little as 10 days, and have an affiliate income that will last, not something that's designed to just be here for a little while, something for the test of time. To do that from small niches and simple sites so that no special skill is required and that these can be replicated over and over, so that it's a business model scalable to meet your income goals so you can grow your income with it to whatever level you like. And finally, it's a affiliate marketing system for a location-independent and time-independent online business. That means you can work anywhere you wish and at whatever time you wish and have this business keep ticking over and putting affiliate checks in your bank every month. What I did with this information, the system that we've been talking about today, is I made this into a video course where I basically recorded myself going through this entire process, start to finish, so beginning to end. So it is a nothing withheld, over-the-shoulder video documentation on exactly how I'm knocking out these affiliate income streams on repeat right now in 2013. It's more in detail than the system that I gave those people that I coached who made money in as little as 10 days. This course includes my 10 best techniques for finding those weird little niche markets. Like I said, I've worked on these for a long time, and the one that I showed you today is just an example technique. That's not one of the 10. There's 10 better ones even than that for finding those weird little niche markets. Just one of those techniques, if you actually used it, could quickly find you 10 markets like the ones we talked about today, but even if they were lower end, 10 markets that were worth $1,000 a month each, very, very quickly and easily. I also provide something we didn't get to talk about, the complete analysis process that allows me to know how much money there is in a market and how easily I can obtain it, how quickly I can get into that market, and how quickly I can be profiting. Not only that, perhaps most importantly, I flat out tell you the kind of markets where I've made the most money in the past. So there's a special bonus video where I say, look, I've been doing this for 7 years now. These are the places where I've made the most money. You should go over there, start sites in those markets, and if you do, you'll make money just like I did, because I have proven it. That's extremely valuable stuff too. That gives you the ability to skip a lot of the work on the process. Even that is really just the beginning of what's in this course. After that, show you my power site setup videos, which allows you to get your first income machine up and running, optimized perfectly for your readers and for Google in the blink of an eye. And if you want, I'll actually give you access to my site creation guy as well, who can quickly knock you up one of these sites for nothing, for $15. You enter your details and he'll make it and send it back to you. So no work involved there if you wish. I'll give you my post-2012 content creation strategies, so how I create the kind of content for those markets that allows you to generate one sale every 10 visitors. That kind of affiliate content. Highly optimized and highly converting simultaneously. Stuff that Google loves. Not only that, but I will give you access to my outsource writers as well. So if you don't want to do any work, you don't have to do that work either. You can tell them what subjects you want and they will write the content for you. They've been specifically trained to create our content so they can do it perfectly for you first time. I said, by the way, and I hope you understand now, that this business is designed to be hands-off, so I'm trying to provide other people with the ability to do it hands-off as well by giving my own resources for outsourcing. Further than that, you'll get the promotional tactics that get your little site off the ground and your first visitors flowing in under a week. That's totally free, totally white hat, no risk, but maximum impact search engine traffic. You can have a look at this if you wish at foreveraffiliate.com/OV. Even the stuff that we've talked about is really scratching the surface of what's in this video course. It's extremely comprehensive. I'll also include the 2013 link building strategy that's allowing me to get sites to rank quickly right now and stay there as of today. You'll see every link I build, at what quantity, at what time, and from where. Every technique, every person, every link is yours. Plus, of course, because none of this link building I actually do, you get all my link building resources, the services that I use, all the people, everything. So you can keep the whole thing hands off. So you go to those services, you tell them, yes, do that to my sites like you do with Andrew's, and it's done. The work of that's done. The sites are promoted for you in that way. What you also get, and it's perhaps the most important, is the underlying model that allows anyone to replicate these sites and scale their incomes, one income stream at a time. So remember I said that this process is about having a set of steps that you can repeat over and over again. This is that set of steps. You use this process to knock out one of these sites, that you do the same thing again, and you scale your income up to 5 figures a month and beyond. Every detail of the entire process, like we've started to do today, live on screen. You've got my live sites to copy, live markets in play. You do what I do and you replicate the results. You can see more at foreveraffiliate.com/OV. The value of this course that I created, it breaks down around about like this. There's the Forever Affiliate video course, which is just enormous. Is the 3-step system to replicate $300 to $3,000 a month mini sites in 2013, all laid bare for you. The value of that is $9.97, and I say that because I've seen many $9.97 courses myself, and this has more information than those. So the value of the course itself is at least $9.97. You get the bonus video where I've made the most money of those niches that you can just go to and start profiting as quickly as possible. You get all my outsourcing resources to get each step of the process done for you if you wish. The value of that is $4.97. It's much more. It's taken me years and thousands of dollars to achieve, and now you can access it for nothing. There's a guarantee that I do on this, which no one has taken me up on yet, because and I believe in this so strongly that I put this out there. If you go through this process and actually do it, like you make a site, you get the content there, you do the promotion, and it doesn't work, you follow the system exactly, it doesn't work, yeah, of course, I'll refund your money, that's a given, but I'll also send you cash out of my own pocket. I'll send you $100 just to say thanks for trying it out, and wow, you're the first person that's ever had this happen. You're a miracle, right? I've seen this create success so many times. I believe in it so strongly. That's the kind of thing that I'm willing to do. The real world value of all of this stuff, it's $15.91 conservatively estimated. Right now, Forever Affiliate, this video course has just been released. It just came out today. I finally finished it and shared it with everyone. During the launch period, you can get lifetime access to everything we've discussed and a lot more that we didn't get to discuss for one payment, one time of $67. That special offer is available at foreveraffiliate.com/OV. You can visit that link at the bottom of the screen. I want to leave you with this one thought, because to me, this lady symbolizes what this business is about. This is a lady who got in contact with me recently because she'd been a system following these methods, and she'd had a really big win in her life. She's got a handful of sites that earn her around about a mid-4 figures per month. She lives in Bangkok, and particularly over there, if you're doing $5,000 a month, that's a good chunk of money. That can really be a life changer. So she's got this one site that earns the majority of that income, and actually one page on that site that alone earns her about $1,000 a month. And she had this really stressful day job in the city, the busy, bustling city of Bangkok, and she'd wanted to get out of it for a long time, and so she'd been trying to find ways to replace her income in that way. She was able to replace her income with this stuff so that she could quit her job. She quit the job that she had in the city that she didn't like and that was causing her a lot of stress. And she moved with her husband to this small town, like on the coast of Thailand. Just lives in this like a place on the beach now. And this whole story is just so cool to me because that is exactly what this business is about. You said B at the start of this presentation because you would prefer an income that is substantial, that requires a minimum amount of your time, that reduces your stress, that gives you additional freedom, more of the stuff that you care about in life. And this girl is the personification of exactly how that happens and what that is. And she is nothing special. English is her second language, and she was able to make this happen. You can tell by reading her name, English is not her first language. She could make this happen. There's no reason why anyone listening to this call couldn't achieve better results than this in the same amount of time. I'm going to leave it there for today, guys. To finally sum up, remember, it's lifetime access to the Forever Affiliate video course, the whole system for $300 to $3,000 a month income streams right now in 2013. The bonus video, where I've made the most money, that's $97 value. All my outsourcing resources to get the work done hands-off for you. $100 cashback guarantee. If you try it and it doesn't work, on top of your refund. Today only, the special launch price, it's $67. You'll be able to see that at foreveraffiliate.com. I want to thank you once again for tuning in, for spending this time with me tonight, for enduring that horrible wait at the start of this presentation. I really appreciate your commitment there. I hope you found this valuable. I hope I've been able to save the lost time at the beginning of the night. I would love to answer questions if there's anything that you guys have.
Well, I want to thank you, and I really want to thank the audience for putting up with my inept navigation of your slideshow. I'm pretty sure I didn't go off onto my holiday pictures at any point in time. I was watching on another screen, but forgive me, guys, if I did leave things a little late or jumped ahead. I'm very sorry. And Andrew, you put so much into this, especially I was really impressed at the outset how you indicate this is not brain surgery. This is just surgical approach to the huge problem of Google and SEO. As opposed to trying to take on the world, you find a little corner that isn't being fully exploited, narrow it down, and provide some good, valuable content. And as we know, Google's always claimed that's what it's all about. So you're taking them at their word and going right after it, right?
Finally, now I am, yes.
And Google is a monster. Fighting Google on its own terms can be very difficult. Um, now, we got a couple of questions in here in terms of what this can and cannot do, which, will have to be delved into at great detail. But first of all, I guess we can clarify this. Are there any upsells or one-time offers? This is it. You're getting in on the ground floor of a new program at what I believe is a very distinctive offering to OfferVault members. That's why we have foreveraffiliate.com/OV. Am I correct?
That's right, yeah. And I would love to say something about the upsells as well. The way that I do things is that, one of the things that I hate the most when other people do it is when they advertise a system that they have available, a way to make money, their business model, and they sell it cheaply because they want afterwards for you to purchase something that's really expensive and you really need to make it work. To me, that's the worst. That's the bottom of the barrel. I have never done that and will never do that. So the way that this works is that this course for $67, nothing is omitted, literally nothing. If for people who want to take this further, for people who feel like they are interested in it, what I do offer after the purchase is a coaching program where you'll get the chance to join me for 6 weeks and we kind of work through building your affiliate business together. It's optional. There is obviously a ton of value there, and there's some other things I'm able to provide you when it's in a small group environment like that. But in terms of anything compulsory that you need to make this work, I can be 100% confidence there is nothing.
Now, here's a bit of a challenge question, and I think you can address this pretty straightforward. Someone's saying, I find myself studying 4 to 6 hours a day, and that I'm learning that building authority sites is easier and more beneficial than mini sites. What's your take on that? How do you think the large authority site stacks up to what you're doing?
Here's the thing. I really appreciate the question. I would like the opportunity to comment. The Forever Affiliate model, when you get inside and you see this, you'll see that what I do actually is to create mostly mini sites with a very small number of authority sites. So I run 2 authority sites maximum in different niches. And the rest of my portfolio is all mini sites. The reason for that is authority sites are great in a couple of ways. They speed up your success after a certain point because the new stuff that you do with it builds on what has already been done. So when you come to create to promote a new product, for example, you're not promoting a product on a brand new domain name. You don't have to start your SEO from scratch. A lot of the groundwork is already done. So you can multiply and replicate quickly in that scenario. But the other thing with your authority sites, the downside is that they have the highest risk. In the worst case scenario, when Google gets it wrong and decides that you were doing something wrong, they just mess it up. You become collateral damage, and every now and then that does happen. If that happens on an authority site that you spent 6 months working on, that you invested thousands of dollars into on content and other things, that's a big loss. Whereas and it becomes one day collateral damage in Google, it's that 1 in 10 time when that happens. You don't lose much. It's not a big deal. You can easily recreate that and reverse engineer what you did the last time and get those results back very, very quickly. That's the dichotomy that we face between authority sites and mini sites. So what I really do, we didn't get time to talk about it today, but is mix it up, and you'll learn more about that in the Forever Affiliate program.
Would it be fair to say that the authority site is more targeted and less diversified in terms of what you can do with it? For example, let's say Vitamix was a product, a niche that you wanted to pursue, but my authority site is all about digital cameras. Even if Vitamix was going to be wonderful, nobody's going to come to a digital camera site, or at least not many, looking for a blender. Whereas with the mini sites, I'm much more likely to be able to spread my resources as well as branch out into areas that aren't related to what I spent my time developing my authority on.
That's exactly right. And I should be clear that when we talk about authority sites here, and the ones that I build, these would not even be authority to that extent. They would be authority within one market. So an authority site which was like blenderreviews.com or something, where I would promote Vitamix and other blenders that are similar to it. That's as broad as it's worth it to go.
And of course, one of the things we're talking about here that everybody should keep in mind is we're going after free traffic. You're not promoting, at least I haven't seen any indication that you're suggesting people invest in expensive marketing, pay-per-click strategies to get their sites up and going. You're going to rely on the slow growth or slower growth of something that Google's going to provide for free.
That's exactly right. I won't even add anything to that. That's exactly it.
Now we've got one. I have to put this up there. The offer is $67, yet the cashback guarantee is $100. So, will you pay me $33 if I want my money back?
That should be. That's cheeky, but I appreciate the boldness. You get a refund and $100 on top of that thing. So if you just want your money back and you didn't try it, you didn't do any work, there's a refund guarantee like with anything, but you only get $67 back, the price that you paid, and not more.
Oh, wow. Now, do we need to invest in a new domain and hosting in order to use this program or this system that you're talking about?
Yes, definitely.
Now, with that said, hosting isn't terribly expensive, and as far as a domain name, I mean, I'm getting my domain names anywhere from $3 to $10 in Namecheap, and a hosting service to be able to deal with the volume of traffic you're talking about isn't terribly expensive, is it? Like, you can get a year's worth of hosting for about $120.
That's right, and you can start just month to month if you start with a hosting account as low as $6 a month. It's just crazy cheap. The cost's almost negligible. And that's $6 a month. You could host a few sites on there. Your first few sites, it's just nothing, you know.
Guys, you should check this out. Andrew knows what he's talking about. He's been doing this for a while, and I think it's not difficult to follow what he started out with in terms of not only the strategy, but how he executes it. I don't think you're going to spend an awful lot of time trying to understand something. This is very specific, and yet it seems pretty simple to follow. But the program he's offering you is going to take you through this and get you running, up and running. I know nobody can guarantee that you will make money in a specific amount of time, and you'd be insane to accept such a promise. But there's no doubt that people following this will end up making money in a reasonable period of time if they do exactly what the system requires. That's pretty much what we're looking at, isn't it?
It has happened time and time again, so I have very good reasons to believe so, yeah.
Of course, it's all about taking action. If you sign up for any program or even start out on your own, and then don't take the appropriate action, nothing happens. It's, as the old adage says, 98% of the people who get into internet marketing don't make any money because they don't stay the course. They never really take the right action to get started. There are no failures in internet marketing. They're just people who don't try hard enough to succeed. You got any closing remarks you'd like to give to the crowd before we call it a night? And again, I apologize if I botched up your slides. I'll try to make sure I got them sourced out properly when we put this through post-production for the recording.
You were fantastic. I must apologize. I started promising that his next slide, but I started rambling and that didn't happen at all. So thank you for your immense efforts in making that happen. And for those of you listening, thank you for your time here tonight. I really hope you get a chance to check this out. I appreciate the time we've had together. I hope you got something great out of it. And hopefully I can be back to present something cool for you guys again soon.
We've had some questions about the replay, and of course we did have our horrific opening delay. And for those of you who stayed the course, Our sincere thanks for putting up with that. We apologize. We'd blame somebody if we could drag somebody before you to be beaten over the head, but we can't get that guy on the phone. We will have this up in the members area, hopefully within 24 hours. And I'm going to put you on a bit of a spot here for that reason alone, Andrew. About how long do you think this offer for the OfferVault members is going to be available?
This one stays like 1st of March, and that's it. So I guess it'll be 8 days from the time people see this replay.
There you have it, folks. So all the recorded version of this, minus the boring part at the first before Andrew was able to come on, will be in the members area within 24 hours. Go to www.foreveraffiliate.com/OV and check out this program. It is very, very worthwhile. You should pay attention and explore the possibilities. Andrew, very, very thankful. Thanks for taking the time and your extraordinary effort to get through to us tonight. We really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, Rick. I appreciate the help.
And on that, folks, we're out of here.